All right, you guys. For those of you who haven't ever met me before, my name is Debbie Morrow. I founded the Real Estate Agent Referral Network and Marketing Tips Facebook group about 4 years ago. I'm here with my partner, Ray Schulsouth. Say hi, Ray.
Hey guys, welcome. Thanks for being here with us today.
Excellent. We are, wow, we're at 86 this morning. That's amazing. FSBOs are obviously a hot topic. So, this morning, what we're going to do is a panel discussion. And Ray, if you can take over and chat, I'm going to try. I think I figured out how to highlight the panelists. So I'm going to do that while Ray is kind of taking over.
Sure. Guys, I like to start with a two-word check-in. How's everybody doing today?
We're
Drop it
good.
in the chat. Two-word check-in. I'm great. I'm tired. I'm driven. What am I? Drop that in the chat. Let us know what's going on with you guys. Then we're going to kick it into high gear. I'm tired. All right, Casey, love it. Having the best day of my life. Amazing, Monica. This is awesome, you guys. Let's heat it up. All right, perfect. Next, who has experience with for sale by owners? Anybody? Give me a happy face in the chat. Okay, happy face emoji in the chat. We like emojis here, guys. Don't be shy about that. I'm going to let some more people in, Debbie. We are at 90. This is awesome. Lisa, feeling awesome. I love it. Okay, good, good, good. All right, who is scared of for sale by owners? Write scared in the chat. Who is scared of for sale by owners? Okay, guys, we are going to change that by the time we leave today, okay? We're going to warm up for sale by owner, so we are not scared. Peter, that face is amazing. Appreciate that. Sherry. All right, cool. All right, Debbie, where do we go from here?
All right. Well, let's just go ahead and kick this thing off. First of all, um, I've highlighted the six or five, I don't count, five panelists here. Um, and we're going to talk about what kind of experience you have with working with FSBOs and what you do. And I'm going to start with my buddy Chris Dow because this guy is the most consistent person I know at making his daily phone calls. So, Chris, would you just give us a kind of a quick summary about what you do specifically for FSBOs?
Yeah. I don't hit the FSBOs like I do the expireds. My goal with the expireds, I want to hit them first thing in the morning. FSBOs, I want to hit them in the morning, but it's not first thing because they're usually getting their kids going and things like that. And you call them, they're real short and so forth. So what I usually do is I call them and I introduce myself and I say, hello, and I introduce them by first name, and then I say, hey, are you still accepting offers on your house at so and so address? And that 9 times out of 10 gets a response. They drop what they're doing, and we can carry a conversation, and I get an appointment.
Excellent. So that stops the, oh my God, you're the 12th realtor to call me today.
No,
And yeah, excellent, excellent open liner, first liner,
yeah.
open statement, whatever. All right,
So,
Walt. Oh, no, go ahead,
oh,
Chris. I don't want to stop you.
So my goal is when I connect with them on the phone or in person, I want to find out their pain points. I want to find out what is pain, where their pain is. Then after I find out what their pain is, I want to offer a solution, but I want to offer a low-key solution for their pain point. So that's my goal.
And
So
so give us an example of a low-key solution.
yeah, so for an example, if I ask them how to, what is their timeline? I'm asking them questions to find out what their timeline is, when they need to move, why they're moving, where they're moving to. I ask them a lot of questions. And in that conversation, they're going to tell me their pain, what the problem is. Yeah, I don't have time to show the house, or I don't, whatever it is. Then my key is I start dripping on them with information that's going to answer their pain.
Excellent, excellent. All right, Walt. What is your opening line for working with these FSBOs?
So I've been working with FSBOs for a long time. I obviously I'm in the coaching space now, but when I started in my real estate career, every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 9 to 11, I was on the phone. FSBOs, expireds, geo prospecting. That's how I did it. And what I learned over the years was you have to understand the psychology behind the person you're talking to if you want to have the right conversation, right? So many agents miss this and they're like, well, I'm in sales. It's a numbers game. Dial, dial, dial. But if you scale that back for a minute and you say, what's the mindset? What's the psychology of the for sale by owner or the expired or the whoever? Understand that the one decision that they've made, the only one decision that they've made is, I don't want to list with an agent. So if your initial approach is to talk about listing with an agent, you're ice skating uphill, right? You're not going to get a good conversation started. So be mindful of that and have a conversation that has value. So literally what I typically do these days, to be 100% honest with everybody, I've recently retooled this. I tell them right from the start, hey, listen, I realize you're probably getting bombarded from calls from other agents trying to convince you to do something you don't want to do, which is list your house with them. Take a deep breath. I don't even want to talk about listing your house. Is that okay? And they go, why the hell are you calling me? Right. And now we can have a conversation. And I have two different ways that I call FSBOs these days, two different scripts, two different frameworks. They start the same. One of them is I will intentionally call the for sale by owners, the landlords, the expired listings that I know I actually have a buyer that I want to show the property to. Because I just want to close deals and make money and serve people. So if I can take my buyer, match that criteria with a for sale by owner or a landlord or an expired listing, and just close the transaction, I can help them without even listing their house and everybody wins. So I'll start with that. And then the other strategy, if I don't necessarily have a buyer in mind, I'll never tell somebody, oh, I have a buyer in mind if I don't. I'd never lie to somebody. I'll talk about ways that I can help them sell their house on their own for free. And if they're willing to have a 10 or 15-minute conversation with me, I'll just give them some professional knowledge that might help them. And that allows me to build rapport, just like Chris said, as we're talking about things like, tell me more about your house. How old's the roof? When did you update it? Why are you moving? What do you, oh, that's really cool. You want to get close to the grandkids. Tell me more about the grandkids. How old are they now? Oh, that's amazing. My youngest is 11. And as we talk about things like how to do better listing photos, how to write a better listing description, how to market the house in different ways, I'll offer to market it for them on my social media or in my Facebook groups to drum up buyers that I can then take to them. And so we build a really great relationship that isn't about, hey, I want to sell your house, even though you don't want to sell it with me. Let's just talk about ways that we can work together. That's how I start the conversations these days.
Excellent. Thanks, Walt. All right, let's move to Tom. Tom, tell us your experience and what you do or how you're, I know that you're retired from actually doing it, but you're teaching agents how to do what you've done. So so tell us what you suggest. You're muted, Tom. Let's see if I can help.
Go. All right. Okay. Thank you. Well, yes, I am a coach. I have been in the industry for 52 years. I've talked to plenty of expireds and FSBOs in my lifetime, but I have maybe a different taste of flavor on this, if you will. So may not be popular, but it's what is working for my clients at the moment. And what I've done is I've retooled all the scripts of everybody's, and I've changed it to a simple appointment setting script. So I recognize that most agents are scared to death to call expireds and or FSBOs. And I want to acknowledge that. And I certainly don't want to force my clients into submission, if you will. Sorry, I've got a lighting issue. So I've taken the fear out of calling, I believe. And it's a simple Hi, this is Tom Pavetti with Coldwell Banker. I know that you have your home at 125 Banana Lane currently on the market. You're selling it yourself. When would be the best time for me to stop by and just have a quick look at your house? That's it. I don't, I, most agents will resist learning the script or learning or the finesse, if you will, of what Walt was saying, where you ask them questions. So we take the fear out, we take the rejection out. That's what I call it. Okay. And now my philosophy, and I think I'm correct on this, is that when you get in front of them, nose to nose, toes to toes, as they say, they'll answer every question you ask them in their home. In their home. And so you can ask those required initial questions like, so gosh, you got a beautiful home here. Tell me, where are you going? Or I'm curious, I like to use terms like, so I'm curious, where are you moving? How soon do you need to be moved? Wow, what's taking you to Dallas? And then I repeat, how soon do you want to be moved? Okay, and then I ask them, how did you come up with your price? This is a key question because if I have a friend in the business, this is probably one you're not going to get. Okay. Doesn't mean you're not going to follow up on them. And then I will ask them, what methods are you using to attract qualified buyers? Qualified buyers. So that's my approach to for sale by owners with my clients. For me, it's all on the follow up. And I call it my yellow pad Monday morning follow-up system, which simply just is I call them every Monday morning. Hey, this is Tom. I'm just curious. Did you sell your home over the weekend? No, usually they say. Great. How many people came by? How many agents brought people by? Or how many qualified buyers stopped by to see your house? I'm gonna hammer on the qualified buyer thing, okay? Because they don't have a clue what a qualified buyer is. So anyway, it might sound too simplistic, but to me, it's working for my clients, and it's taken the fear out of calling. And I'm oblivious to whatever they say when I'm calling and asking to come by and preview their home. I'm oblivious to what they say. It's like, what is it? The melody in a song that repeats itself? I don't know. I'm not a musician, but so no matter what they say, well, we're not cooperating with agents. Totally understand. Repeat and affirm. You're not cooperating with agents. When can I come by and see your home? Well, we're not going to pay you a commission. I totally understand. You're not going to pay me a commission. When would be the best time to come by and see your home? I don't care what they say. I just repeat and affirm and ask the question again, when can I come by and see your home? And I think 8 out of 10 times you get in the door.
Excellent. Excellent. Okay. And so now I'd like to hear from Sunny because Sunny is actually out there doing this every day. So tell us, Sunny, what your approach is. And if it's different than all these guys, that's even better because I want to have all of these different things because everyone on the call is going to take away something different from it and try to implement that. So what are you doing and what are you finding success with?
Yeah, for sure. So Walt and Ray both put a for sale by owner guide together. And so I've actually been kind of coached through them. So a lot of what I do, Walt kind of talked about what is similar to what Walt has done. But I just want to also kind of agree with everyone else that's spoken as well. I kind of also kind of take a little bit of nuggets from them as well. So one of the things I found out is that most for sale by owners end up listing with a realtor at some point down the road, statistically. So my whole thought approach into this when I'm first introducing myself is just to be the guy that's really likable and that they just remember. I always bring something of value to them. So I'll start off. Sometimes I'll just do text blasts, and I actually find out that this works if you have a specific message that you text them versus just, "Hey, can I come see your home?" or whatever like that. the key is getting them to engage in a conversation. Because, sorry, one second. Sorry, I was getting a call. Are you there? Sorry. Okay.
Was it a FSBO? That's all we want to know.
No, I think it was my bug person that's coming to spray for ants or get ants out of my house. Anyways, yeah, so the key is just to get them engaged, because once they're engaged, that's the first step. A lot of the times I've been doing this for about 8 months. At first I was struggling just to get people to respond to me. So I would continuously go to Walt, hey, this script isn't working. What do I need to do?
You
Sonny,
just
are
put
you
yourself on
muted?
mute, Sonny.
Oh, sorry about that. Okay. So I'll just text them, hey, I'm looking at your house in Zillow. It's a beautiful property. And usually I'll say something about it specifically, so it doesn't seem like an automated bot kind of a thing. If they have a beautiful lawn or something that they take pride in their pictures, or a pool, I'll say, I love that pool, you know. Then I ask them, would it be all right if I did some free marketing, try to drum up some buyers on your home? I don't need anything from you except your permission, and then I'll handle the rest. Would that be all right with you? And so that usually triggers oh yeah, a very a good response. And so then from there, if I can get the appointment, the sooner the better. I also offer things like the free for sale by owner guide, and just like Walt said, I help them try to, and, you know, the verbiage comes across that I'm trying to help them sell by themselves because they don't want to use a realtor for whatever reason. Now in my head, I want to be that guy that they come back to because I've given them enough value. So when I do come to the house, I'll usually they'll know that I have the ability to also do a video tour of the house. And what I do is I promote that on my own social media. I'm trying to basically get buyers that are qualified, that actually are looking for a property like this. And so that's where the connection is. And so they're usually very open from that approach. And I have had some no's, but they're not as much as the yeses and sure, or that's fine, you know. Um, Also, though, there's some common objections, so it's always good to think about what those objections that you have to kind of put yourself in a for sale by owner's thought process, like the psychology, like what Walt was saying. But I came up with a list of what I thought every objection would be, and then how to have like 2 or 3 solutions per objection. So I have a list of that. So I'm always adding to it though, as I'm discovering, you know, just having multiple conversations. So it is a learning process, but you know, after you do it for a while, you start to kind of see the objections are kind of the same, and you're like, okay, I already overcame this objection. This is what you have to do. And it won't always work, but you know, the important thing is you're getting in the house, you're getting to meet the person, you're getting to see the home, you're getting to market the home, you're getting to have a good impression on the person, and thus they'll be like, hey, I think we're ready to list this. And then they'll ask you questions. What do you think about this? You know, and so that's kind of been my success. So I've had since I started this back in October, I think I've closed 3, but I have a lot in my pipeline now of people that I'm following up with. And the key is follow up, like the person before me just said. Trying to, you know, revisit. A lot of people, when I will text them, they will they just won't text back because they're busy or for whatever reason. So I give them a couple days, but then I say, hey, by the way, um, like I said, you know, I'm just looking to see your house. Sometimes I'll pick up the phone and then I will call them and say, hey, did you get my text? This is Sonny. And then that's my follow up with them. But I'm seeing a lot more conversations happen the more I've adapted the script to kind of just add something of value. So
Yeah, excellent. You know what? I really loved what you said, Sonny, about marketing the property for them and bringing buyers to see the house. I think that is huge. If you're the guy who 2 or 3 or 4 or 12 times has brought buyers, potential buyers, to see the house, they know that you are out there doing it, right? And
right.
everyone wants to work with the person who has the most eyes, right? I want to work with the realtor who has the most buyers. They can bring the most buyers to me. And if you're already doing that without being the one who's listed the house, can you just imagine what's going to happen if you are my agent? So I think that is huge. And yes, of course,
Absolutely.
everything. Yeah. Ray.
Hey guys.
Deb.
Yeah, who was that?
Larry Vecchio. Deb, how are you?
I'm good, Larry. How are you?
Can I share an idea with you?
Of course you can.
So we do for our for sale by owner program is we basically build community websites that we offer advertising to the for sale by owner on. And we work with loan officers. So our loan officers, the loan officers approach the for sale by owner first because they get invited in for coffee. We're like the anti, they don't want us. But we work with our loan officer. We give a program to the for sale by owner that offers the for sale by owner the ability to qualify the buyers. The biggest thing we get out of it is we teach the seller to register buyers. People come through their house every weekend and they stay. Sometimes they could be there for an hour or two and they don't even know. They can't call them back and go, "Did you like my house?" So we get the loan officer to offer to call back these people to help pre-qual. And they end up, basically the sellers give us buyer leads every Monday morning through that program. The loan officers then call the people back. And if they obviously that one can buy that house, well, all the rest are leads. So we found that the most success we've had with for sale by owners is working with our loan officers.
What a great and different take on how to do this. So right, this is why we do these panel, because everybody has said something a little bit different. Ray, it's your turn.
Hey guys. Yeah, so if you have done anything with Walt or I, you know that we're big fans of toolboxes, right? So every lead gen niche has its own toolbox. So with for sale by owners, Walt said it best. They've already decided not to use a realtor, which means they're already on the defensive, right? So how do we get them off the defensive? So in the guide that Walt and I built, the way that it was built was to be able to pull parts out of it so we can continue the conversation with the for sale by owner, right? Because they don't want to be followed up with, they don't want to be checked in with, but if you can add value and deliver value consistently and have ways to continue the conversation, it becomes easier to build rapport and deliver value, a conversation, a buyer, an investor, whoever it may be in your world that you can bring to the table. So at the end of this, we're going to give you guys two things. We're going to give you conversation templates of 10 ways to start conversations with for sale by owners. And we're going to give you our Canva template of that guide for you guys to use. We take it a step further. We pull pages or chapters and the whole guide out and we put it in a digital flip book so that we can just text it to people. Right? Hey, let me send you something about staging your house. Let me send you something about curb appeal. Here's 3 photographers I recommend you using. All of these different things are baked into that so we can continue adding value and continue the conversation, thus it being a lot easier to build that relationship over time.
Excellent. So a couple of questions. First of all, Yelena asks, how often do you follow up?
Yeah, minimum weekly. I think Walt threw that in the chat. Yeah.
Gotcha. All right. Renee Sharp has her hand up with a question. Renee, tell us if there's anyone specific that you want to answer the question and what is your question?
Well, whoever, that likes to do FSBOs, what do you offer to help them to see how much, what's happening in the market around them, like offering a CMA or something like that? Or would you not do that until you've gotten them as a client?
All right, who's going to answer? Tom, go for it.
Tom, yeah.
Well, I think you probably know by now I'm pretty old school about all this. But no, I do not give them a CMA. I do have a buyer guide that we created that my clients use on the second meeting, not on the first meeting. It's an excuse to follow up, okay? And somebody also asked, how often do you follow up? Well, old school, buy or die. Does that answer the question? I mean, I know that Denise one of the top, the 2 top expired agents in the country. Denise Young, what's her name? Carolyn Young or whatever her name is. says a lot of times we don't get the appointment till the 8th, 9th, or 10th time we call. And so it's like we're the last person standing. The good news about that is at the 8th, 9th, or 10th call, if they get the appointment, 90% of the time they get the listing. So relentless lead follow-up.
Excellent. All right. Any other questions? You can unmute yourself or raise your hand, whichever you think is easier. Peter.
Yeah, so about marketing the property, is that something that you need to get an agreement signed with the FSBO in order to publicize the house on social media or any other platform? I was just wondering how that works in getting that. And by the way, I did offer a CMA to somebody who was a FSBO, and she was very happy to receive all the information, but she ended up selling the house on her own anyway.
Gotcha. Let's actually have Walt answer that.
Yeah, so I want to, Peter, real quick, I want to talk about that last thing you said. You added value. You gave them a CMA, you gave them other stuff. They sold it on their own anyway. Is that FSBO still in your database?
Yes, she is.
Okay. The follow-up doesn't stop just because they sold the house. You added value, you made a connection, you consistently follow up with everyone that goes in your database. Because here's what happens sometimes. As you add value, you build some relationship, you say you're trying to help them sell their house on their own, right? What do you know? They sold it on their own. Great. Be excited for them. Follow up. How's it going? How's the contract? Are you about to close? Where are you moving to? Are you excited? You'll have FSBOs become referral partners. Because just because they wanted to sell it on their own doesn't mean their Aunt Sally wants to buy her next house on her own. Doesn't mean Uncle Joe wants to downsize on his own. And those people, the average person, last stat I saw, that knows 5 to 7 people that are going to do a real estate transaction in any given year. So that one FSBO is potentially 5 to 7 referrals a year if you consistently follow up and continue to add value and just build a relationship with them. So don't miss that. That's for everybody. Just because that FSBO sells, it doesn't mean that you stop following up. You take them out of your CRM. Oh, gee, I missed that opportunity. There's still wonderful opportunity there through the relationship. For the question about, do you need their permission? You do need their permission. Do you need to put it on a formal written form signed by the brokerages? And then, no, I don't. I will caveat, ask your broker, right? Because every state's different and every brokerage might have a different policy. Honestly, that's some office rules. But generally speaking, you do want their permission. I like to get that permission in writing either via text or email. So if I'm on the phone with them and I say, hey, this is what I could do for you. What about this? Do you mind if I do that? And they're like, yeah, that'd be wonderful. Market my property. Awesome. What's the best email? I want to send a quick summary of what I'm going to do for you so that you can see it. And I'll get it in writing either via text or email from the owner of the property that, yes, you go ahead, you can market my property. That's probably a little overkill, honestly. No FSBO that says yes to you marketing their property is going to track you down online and try to sue you for marketing their property. It's not going to happen. But have it in writing in some way. You don't have to go through lawyers and brokers and everything else, but have it in writing just to cover your butt.
Excellent. Thank you, Walt.
Walt's not a broker.
All right, Delbert, what's your question?
Good morning, everybody. I don't have a question, but I do have a comment. I'm an associate in real estate with Real Estate Wealth Institute. Mean I can have my many realtors connect with many investors who they can make money with. I can connect them with thousands of investors, who they can make money on with. And also, even people in the finance industry too. I can also help them to connect with investors too. And my information is in the chat.
Excellent. Thank you, Delbert. Anyone else have a question?
Could I throw one other thing in on the FSBOs too, really quick?
Of course.
Because I don't have a ton of experience with this because I focus more on expires, but I have some colleagues I work with, and sometimes they leverage the value of their experience and knowledge in helping market and promote getting buyers in, or even putting out signage to help drive traffic to an open house. But looking at, hey, this person's selling. what does their buy side look like? Like, is there an opportunity where I can work with you to help you drive traffic, get your home sold on your own? And through that process, you get to know me, trust me, and allow me to represent you in the purchase of your next property.
Excellent. Yeah, definitely. Great point. Anyone else have any questions? All right. Ray, did you drop the FSBO guide in the chat?
Nope, I'll do that right now, guys.
Excellent. So we are gonna, I'm going to, let's see, go back to the gallery view. There we go. And I'm going to turn the recording off because we're going to go into breakout rooms and we're going to do a little bit of role playing here on these FSBOs. Yes, I'm